Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys, on my day off. And today we're back at Clive Christian, guys. We're gonna talk about a Clive Christian fragrance that a lot of y'all have been requesting me to do. I mean, ever since last year, I think. And the thing is, it's been the summer, you know, it's been very, very hot lately. And so it wasn't really the right time to talk about this. But right now that fall winter is just around the corner, I think it is the perfect time to talk about this much hyped Clive Christian fragrance. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel, guys. We are headed to 18K. So please continue your support by liking, subscribing, and watching the ads in between these videos. Thank you very much for your support. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than Clive Christian Blonde Amber. Yes, Blonde Amber right here, guys. And this sample I got from Beverly Hills Perfumery, guys. And I do have a discount code from BHP. It is a rare discount code. So if you are interested in this fragrance or other fragrances that BHP has, they have a ton, guys. Please use that discount code and that will really come in handy, guys. Plus you will get a bunch of samples with your order. Now, Blonde Amber, what is up with this one right here? First and foremost, by concept, this fragrance sounds really, really amazing. There's no such thing as Blonde Amber. However, by concept, this fragrance is supposedly a combination of blonde tobacco and amber. Okay, blonde tobacco is the dry, warm, hay-like, semi-sweet tobacco, and amber is your honeyed amber right there, guys. And so both of these concepts, both of these notes are very, very popular notes, especially for the mainstream and the fall winter season. And so a lot of reviewers apparently have been hyping up this fragrance, and a lot of people, a lot of y'all have been requesting me to do this. Big sticker shock though is that this fragrance is $550 for 50 ml. That is huge. Okay, I mean, I don't know what the discounter price is, but this one is $550 for 50 ml. So that is exactly what we're gonna put into the crucible. I will describe to you this scent, guys, in detail, start to finish. I'll give you guys my thoughts, and in the end, let's talk about the full bottle worthiness of this fragrance, or should you sample it first? Anyways, let's go spray this thing right now. Okay guys, now let's talk about Clive Christian's Blonde Amber. Now this fragrance, whew, right from the get-go, 5 sprays of this fragrance will create a very impactful start. Strong, potent, and impactful. Every time I've tested this fragrance, that's what I got, guys. And that'll tell you that this fragrance will perform very, very well once the cold winter hits. Right here in the opening, I know that there's a lot of notes, and you're probably watching this video for some clarification because it seems there are citruses, spices, incense, and a boozy note of rum. And so I'm sure a lot of y'all are either intrigued or confused as to what this fragrance really smells like. Now, let me tell you, right here in the opening, yes, you have the notes of bergamot, you have grapefruit, you have the spices of cardamom, ginger, and pink pepper, and then you have the olibanum or incense note, as well as a rum accord, guys. Okay, so it is a lot, guys, but let me tell you, the opening of Blonde Amber is actually pretty simple. It's simpler than what you think. Much like other fall winter fragrances that are geared towards the cold weather, the thick notes will prevail. Okay, the strongest notes are going to be the thick notes, and they will definitely overpower any type of median note like bergamot or grapefruit. And so right here in this fragrance, it starts off with a warm, ambery, spicy, and smoky mix. Okay, as expected. So don't think for a minute that it's a complex, that it's, you know, it's a complex opening that has grapefruit in it. Even the grapefruit actually is just a very minor fleeting note here in the opening, because the strongest ones are going to be these. It's going to be your bitter orange, it's going to be your spices, it's going to be your smoky olibanum, and the base, the rum accord of this intro right here. The opening definitely is very ambery. There's no amber here, guys, but it is that combination of that slightly sweet and dark bitter orange note mixed in with a smoky semi-sweet incense, and then your rum accord plus a bunch of those spices right there. A little bit of woodiness as well, probably from the spices, guys, but that is going to be your intro. Guys, this intro, I gotta say, is very good. It is very lovely. It is very expected, guys. It's gonna be smoky, it's gonna be ambery and spicy. Not only is it impactful, but it is also a draw-in scent because of the amber and the spices, that kind of smell. And so it is really geared for the fall winter season. My first impression was like, oh, I see now why a lot of people wanted me to try this on, because really the opening is very mainstream appealing. It will give you exactly what you thought of, blonde plus amber, smoky and ambery from the jump. Okay, now let's go into the mid of blonde amber, and much like the top notes, on paper it seems like you have this crazy medley of notes for blonde amber right here. It's something that I get usually when I review Roscia fragrances. It seems like it's a medley of notes. You've got a combination of blonde tobacco, you've got florals like jasmine and tuberose, you've got sandalwood, you've got dried fruits. What the heck is going on? It's a medley of notes. But let me tell you that the mid of blonde amber really is going to be nothing but a continuity from the initial intro, guys. Okay, so almost all these notes, believe it or not, are continuity notes from the get-go, guys. You have, first and foremost, your blonde amber, your dry, hay-like blonde tobacco that actually comes in early, mixes in with that incense, providing the same smoky nature. It's just that there's tobacco now, but then it is still going to be a combination of smoky, sweet, and spicy, because you're still gonna get those sweet notes from the florals, from the saffron, from the spices. The draw-in spiciness is still gonna be the same. So I gotta say right here, guys, this is pretty linear. Do not expect any complex changes from this fragrance right here. Maybe 40 minutes in is when the tobacco goes in full blast, but nevertheless, every time I've worn this, it felt like the opening lasted forever, and that's just because of the continuity of the mid notes going on and on. Now, I'll say this though about blonde amber, this fragrance shifts into a dry, woody scent. I would say an hour 30 in is when there is some slight transition right here, guys. Obviously, you're gonna have your blonde tobacco still being there. It's gonna continue all the way till the near end. I'll tell you more about that later. But you have oris as well to provide some powderiness. You have some woods. The first part, like I said, is ambery. It's gonna be smoky and spicy. It's continued on in the mid, but there is a part, I would say 1 hour 30 minutes into blonde amber, where you get this really nice smooth woody transition. And I actually really like this transition as a break from the impactful smoky spicy ambery mix, guys. Okay, so it gets woodsier somewhere in the mid, but it still retains some of the qualities that were started by the opening notes. Now, what's up with the florals, guys? I mean, right here in the mid of blonde amber, you have florals like osmanthus, jasmine, and iris. I would say right here that iris is the strongest, obviously, and iris is a very strong fall winter note depending on how you use it. And the jasmine, your tuberose, and your osmanthus, these are going to be lingering sweet florals into the mix. But like I said, it is hard to discern when you have a strong tobacco note, when you have strong woody notes and smoky notes, an iris note that really dominate this mid, guys. So again, I would say the other floral notes are sweeteners. They're lingering, but they're not gonna be as prominent as the main actors of the show. Now, finally, let's talk about the dry down. The dry down happens 5 hours into this fragrance. And honestly, I gotta say that this dry down is also a very linear continuation to the mid, guys. Okay, so right here in the dry down, tonka bean is the star of the show, and tonka bean does have sweet, hay-like, tobacco-like properties, and so it is a straight continuation from your blonde tobacco, creating that sensation all the way to the dry down. You also have your labdanum, which is going to be your straight amber labdanum base with the sweetener of vanilla. You have cedar that continues the woodsiness, and then you have the tenacity, the earthiness of that patchouli, that sharp patchouli that continues the sensation of the spices, guys. Okay, so really, like I said, most of the dry down is going to be a continuity. It's going to be a straight, almost same feels for hours and hours, 5 to 6 to 7 hours of mostly the same thing. Again, if you like it though, that's great. Ambery, spicy, and smoky all the way till the end, guys. All continuity notes. Now, right here in the late dry down, I would say late dry down, is when they kind of inserted something different here. They inserted myrrh, they inserted vetiver and musk here in the late dry down. And I could really smell the differences, guys. Once those other notes kind of faded back or pulled back a little bit, you will get a little bit of that myrrh. And that smells kind of different. It's sort of like a break from all of this. And then you have the smoky green vetiver and musk, guys. Okay, so I actually like this ending, not because I like the combination, but because it was a break. Finally, I got the evolution that I was looking for going into smoky vetiver, musk, and myrrh. So that is the one thing I really liked though, because mostly I was smelling the whole thing. And actually, guys, part of the delay of this fragrance being reviewed was that every time I tried this, it felt like it was the same all throughout. And I was just like, man, what is going on? Is this like a scam or something? Because the notes were pretty similar to each other. And that is what you will get with this fragrance blonde amber right here. This is for the fragrance head that falls in love with the beginning and wants that sensation to last until the end. That is what this fragrance is truly for. And so when you get a sample from BHP, for example, try it and see if you like the ambery, smoky, spicy mix. Because if you do, then the good news is that it lasts from start to finish, guys. Now, for guys like me though, not so much, because I'm always looking for evolutions, especially if I'm paying for like a $500 bottle. I'm looking for these genius, nice transitions that will really make me feel good as I continue on with this fragrance. Now, this fragrance, the reason why I really didn't want a bottle of this was because I had a full bottle of a Bulgari Ambero fragrance. I don't know if you've heard about that, but I do have a full bottle of Ambero, and Ambero kind of reminded me of this, kind of like a straight start to finish ambery, sweet, warming fragrance. It's just that this one definitely has tobacco aspects that maybe a lot of y'all will like, tonka bean aspects, as well as some spicy facets as well. But Bulgari Ambero was so ambery to me and straight and like from start to finish that I didn't feel I needed anything else. So with that being said, this fragrance is also a standalone, okay? It's a standalone fragrance, meaning if you are looking for amber tobacco, straight amber tobacco, sweet, a little bit of spicy for your collection, your niche collection, I would say that this is it right here. Not many evolutions. I wouldn't even say it's a nice addition to other fragrances. Of course, if you like interesting fragrances, maybe this won't be as interesting, but as a standalone full bottle, true ambery fragrance with that smoky tobacco, that hay-like tobacco, I would say that this is it right here. Now I understand why the mainstream loves it, why a lot of people from the mainstream really suggest this fragrance, because yes, it does smell good and it will get you compliments. It will be potent for the fall winter season, guys, and the longevity of this fragrance is easily 12 hours plus, I would say, guys. And the thing that's important about this is that it is a thick fragrance. So even if you're in Chicago on their brutal winters, I think that this fragrance will definitely make you feel warm and cozy in those kinds of conditions. I don't know, Switzerland or Chicago, wherever in the world where there's a strong winter, I think Blonde Amber will really, really work, guys. And so that's my thoughts on this fragrance. I would say try it first, get a sample from Beverly Hills Perfumery. I wouldn't say blind buy it unless you fell in love with the sample, guys. Okay, so that is it. That is my review on Clive Christian Blonde Amber. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. Is this exactly like how I described it? I would love to know on the comments, guys. Or if you guys smelled something else, let me know in the comments as well, guys. And again, I'll see you guys on the next video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless, take care, peace.